Are you looking to buy a new compact luxury SUV in the next year? Well, this is the place to be, because today we are going to be ranking each of the models in this segment, which we have spent extensive time with all of them.
And these rankings aren't just going to be arbitrary. These are going to be ranked in the 10 most important categories to you, the luxury compact SUV shopper. That will give us our objective scores. And then after that, we're going to be giving you our subjective winners, which one Drew and I would put in our driveway.
So after our expert evaluation in these categories, how does this large segment rank? Well, let's go ahead and get into it. We spent countless hours testing out all of these vehicles, messing with the technology, driving them over top of all types of terrain, testing out the cargo capacity, etc., etc. And then we took about 4 more hours to put them into this specific ranking, based on 10 important categories. What are those 10 categories? Well, here they are. We're going to be looking today at premium cabin material, as in how much does the cabin spoil you? Luxury features, technology, powertrain choices, drive experience, cargo space, rear seats, active safety features, reliability, and value under $55,000, which is the price point that most people purchase within.
Now, in those categories, we'll be ranking them from 1 to 5, 1 being poor and 5 being exceptionally good, and half points are allowed. If there are any ties, we will be breaking those based on our experience outside of those 10 categories. So without further ado, what are going to be our top 10 choices? Let's go ahead and get into it.
So beginning things here with our number 10 slot, we have the Lexus NX. This is Lexus's compact SUV in this segment. It's been around for a couple generations now, and as you can see, it has some strong performing areas. I think a big thing that a lot of people are looking for when they're shopping for a Lexus is that class-leading reliability score. It is the highest rated in terms of luxury brands in reliability, giving it that 4. Also, you're going to be looking at a lot of powertrain choices. You can get regular version, a hybrid version, and even a plug-in hybrid version.
Yeah, lots of choices, which definitely means scores higher there. And now let's move to the number 9 slot, which also scores 30.5 out of 50 possible points, and that's going to be the Audi Q5. Now, this model scores highly in quite a few different categories than the Lexus. For instance, rear seats, it gets a 4 out of 5 possible points, so that's really good. Also, the powertrain choices, you once again have quite a few options. You have the SQ5, you have the regular Q5, and a plug-in hybrid variant, all of which are very refined options, so that's certainly nice. 4.5 out of 5 points. Really, its weakest point is going to be in the reliability and resale front, where it gets a 1 out of 5 possible points.
And by the way, this is a great place to point out that this list is for 2025 model years. 2 of the products on this list, including the Q5, will be redesigned for the 2026 model year, and those will become available in mid-2025. So we look forward to testing those out, but for now, those are not included at this time. All right, next up we have the number 8 slot. That's going to be the Lincoln Corsair. And as you can see, the total score for this today is 31.5 points. Now, the scores on this are noteworthy, I think, because they're consistently pretty good across the board. It really doesn't have like a terrible category, but it does also have, pretty strong options. Oh my goodness. Excuse me before I choked out there. As I was saying, it is very strong across the board. The standout category there is going to be those safety systems, because it has all the active safety features as standard equipment. Most of the options in this class don't do that. It also has available Blue Cruise, which is a true hands-free driving system.
And by the way, if any of these individual categories matters more to you, let's say value under $55,000 is the most important thing for you, you can go to carconfections.com, and on our website, you can actually sort on which of the luxury subcompacts would give you the best value at that point. So that certainly would be a very useful tool, especially because I know a lot of these categories might mean more or less to certain people. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next slot, which is going to be the Cadillac XT4, with an overall score of 32 out of 50 possible points. Now, the XT4 does get a 5 in one category, and that is going to be the value under $55,000. So, like I was just pointing out, this is a very value-packed option in this segment. A lot of them are really pushing, well into the $60,000 price point. They're expensive. This is going to be one of the cheaper options in the segment. It's also going to give you a lot of active safety features. It gets a 4 out of 5. The rear seats are pretty nice at 3.5, and the technology, ever since they upgraded to have that curved display, is also going to be quite impressive.
I do want to point out one thing about the XT4, though, and that's the fact that Cadillac is discontinuing this product. 2025 is its last model year. I don't know how long of the year it's going to survive necessarily. I don't know if they've determined that yet. But if you want one, now's your time to go get one. Next up, let's slide into the number 6 category, and that is going to belong to our Buick Envision. So the total score for this model is 33 points. Now, this is kind of could be thought of as a lot of the premium and important features from the XT4 are here in this Buick Envision, but the price tag is less. So you'll notice that down there, value under $55,000, it has a 5 because you get a ton of things under $55,000. Also strong in this vehicle is going to be reliability and technology, because again, you're seeing very similar technology to what the Cadillac XT4 has.
Yeah, I guess it's not going to be as premium of a brand image. Buick kind of slots there in between the mainstream and the luxury side, so that is something to keep in mind, though. Now, we're getting ready to get into the top 5, but first...
If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so what is our number 5 pick? Well, that's going to be the Volvo XC60, coming in at 34.5 out of 50 possible points. Now, let's just go ahead and dive into the strongest areas of the XC60. Really, it scores highly in a lot of different areas. Premium cab materials, even despite its age, it is getting a little older at this point. The materials are still super nice inside the cabin. 4 out of 5 possible points. Also, the luxury features that you're getting, we're evaluating are heated and ventilated seats, and massaging. Is that available? All of those things are available on the XC60, and it also has one of my favorite, if not my favorite, audio systems available. That Bowers & Wilkins is absolutely fantastic. Also, the rear seats, it has a ton of amenities, a 4.5 in that category, and really its weakest point is going to be, once again, the reliability and resale value. It gets a 1 in that category, and the value is not going to be great. It is going to be one of the pricier options.
And by the way, if you're curious about the category of reliability and how that's determined, head over to carconfections.com/reliability. Even though many of these models are just now entering the market, our reliability rankings consider the historic performance of a brand via several of the industry-leading reliability studies, combined to give you a more holistic picture. Again, you can find information on methodology at carconfections.com/reliability. Next up, we have number 4, the Mercedes GLC. This, of course, is a nameplate that is consistently one of the top-selling models, and it's no wonder why. It really has a lot of strong characteristics. For one thing that we really love is it has just a top-notch cabin, really beautiful, well done. You've got that waterfalling, genuine wood. It really spoils you when you're inside of the cabin. Other things that we really like, of course, are high-end luxury features, high-end technology with the latest MBUX system, plenty of space as well on board, and of course the powertrains I think is really a standout thing. We just recently tested out the plug-in hybrid variant, which is new, and that's very, very impressive overall.
Yeah, I think with 50 some miles on a charge now. For some weaker elements, the value under $55,000, that is going to be definitely one of the more basic GLCs that you can get at that price point. And speaking of value under $55,000, that takes us to our number 3 pick, which is the Acura RDX, scoring 35 out of 50 possible points. Now, one of its strongest categories is the value under $55,000. 4.5 out of 5 possible points. This thing is really pretty much fully loaded at the $55,000 price point, unlike a lot of the German competition. Also, unlike a lot of the German competition, it scores highly in active safety features. It gets a 4 out of 5, and that's because because every single one of them is standard equipment, even on the base model, which is an option on most of the other rivals. Drive experience also is pretty impressive on the RDX. It drives a lot nicer than you might expect, which is why it got a 4 out of 5 possible points. Now, as far as some of the weaker elements, the technology and the powertrain choices, that's going to be weak on the RDX. The technology is kind of hard to use. It's definitely not as advanced. Also, the powertrain choices, you're locked into just an X1 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and while it is pretty good, it just doesn't give you the customizability of other options in the segment. Now, before we get any further along in this video, I do want to remind you, if you're looking to buy any of the cars that we've mentioned so far, or any new vehicle, to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that'll connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. But now I think it's time for us to get into our number 2 pick. Drum roll, please.
All right. Number 2, the all-new BMW X3. So, like I just said, this is an all-new product, a full ground-up redesign for the brand. And with that, you have that brand new design. You also have some strong performing elements. So, technology, really high marks. We actually, have a 3 Series that we live with. Same technology as in the X3. It's great to live with it. It's really good performance. Powertrain choices as well. You've got a lot of different selections, especially the B58. That's a fantastic engine if you're willing to go for the more expensive M50 model. But the regular one is still fantastic as well. And then the drive experience and the space. This is one of the biggest options, and it drives fantastic as well.
Now, where does the X3 get a little lower marks, and why does it not land in the number 1 slot? Well, that's going to be the value under $55,000. It's still a German luxury SUV after all, so it is pretty pricey, although not
to play.
Yeah, not as much as the Mercedes, though. And the premium cabin materials, we did dock the X3 on this for this all-new model. It actually is kind of regressed a little bit in a sense. They've used lighting instead of some of those premium materials that we liked from the previous generation, so that's a little bit disappointing. But here we are. What is our number 1 pick in this luxury compact segment? Well, that's going to be the Genesis GV70. And yes, this is a new offering. It's only been out for a couple years, but I have to say this thing packs a serious punch in this segment, that's for sure. Now, it scores highly in a lot of different categories, but really one of its best categories is premium cabin materials. It really has a fantastic cabin. There's a lot of different cool color options as well, so you can really customize it any way you want it. Also, the luxury features that it offers, it has premium audio systems, it has massaging seats, head-up displays, all of those things. The technology is going to be 3.5 out of 5 possible points, and the main reason for that is, we are grading the 2025 model before the refresh, and it will, correct a lot of these issues, but it still does not have wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto in our ranking here, so keep that in mind. As far as other areas, it does well. The drive experience, a 4.5 out of 5 possible points, is one of the best driving vehicles in the segment. It also has a lot of active safety features that is standard equipment, and also the highway drive assist system is also very good for, highway cruising.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is before the refresh, so, in probably 6 to 8 months from when we're making this video, you will be able to get that upgraded model, which will even fix maybe some of the small things that we had as problems with it. But as you can see, overall, this is a very strong performing luxury compact SUV.
Yeah, its lowest score is a 3, so that tells you a lot about how good this vehicle is. But that's going to round off our objective list of our top 10 in this competitive segment. But which one are we going to put in our driveway?
For my driveway, I'm going to put the Mercedes GLC in it. I do believe that it has probably the best cabin. It's right up there with the GV70. And then the big thing, though, for me is the plug-in hybrid. That is night and day better than the other plug-in hybrids that are available in the segment.
Yeah. Now, for me, which one I'm putting in my driveway would be the GV70. I'm going to agree with our objective pick here. I really love this car. It drives super nice. The cabin's super nice on the inside. You have several different good powertrain choices as well. So to me, I think it's the best all-rounder. Also, it has a really long warranty for a luxury car. So if you're planning on keeping it for a while, that's a little bit more peace of mind. Now, I will caveat this. Drew and I had this discussion. If we're going to be spending over $65,000, our picks are going to change, and I think we're both going with the X3 M50 because that has such an amazing engine that at that point, I think that is definitely the best choice. Even considering the GV70 3.5 twin turbo, I still think the X3 has the edge.
Yeah, it's hard to offset the V58 and the
so
performance, and I can get over anything else.
Exactly. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed and found this helpful in your purchasing decisions, because that's really the whole point of us making this. Of course, if you want to see how each vehicle ranks in each of these individual categories, go to our website. You can find that live on our website already. If you're also looking to buy one, feel free to go out to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price. And if you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support. You mean a lot to us by watching our videos. You support our channel a lot. If you're not already a part of our family, we'd like to invite you in. We make a lot of cool car reviews that I promise you won't want to miss out on. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.